Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning when you happen to see this video. Word porn WORDO no WORDPORM. This new book, Stop Letting Everything Affect You. It says this isn't just about butterflies or date nights. It's about choosing someone who shows up in grief, in mess, in uncertainty. This isn't just about butterflies or date nights. It's about choosing someone who shows up in grief, in mess, in uncertainty. Because when life gets when life gets painfully real, romance won't carry you, character will. Yes, true, but family dynamics leads us. Hear that noise? They're cutting some tubes, metal tubes, and that's how family dynamics are. They're there. They're so strong, so invisible that until we make them visible, we can just really stop choosing somebody who is not there for me, or I'm not there for them. It's not just that they're not there for me; it's also that I'm not there for them, and that makes a difference. Um, because true medicine is born when the patient stops being passive and becomes an investigator of him herself. This is a thought by Dr. Reich G. Hammer. And the way I understand this thought is when I stop being a child and I become an adult and I look for answers and help, and I find those answers and that help. But there's another one, and a video that Sara shared with me that I want to share with you. And it says, "Morning radio will have you late for work." Let's see. Hope well, let's hear it.
Why don't you ever talk about the men that don't pay child support?
Because it's women like you who spread your legs with guys like that. Why don't you ever talk about the responsibility of women who choose irresponsible males to procreate with and then complain later when they're irresponsible?
No.
The women who have a one-nighter with a bartender or a guy on a motorcycle or a musician, and then you complain later on the guy's a deadbeat. He was a deadbeat to begin with.
Why nobody could ever talk to you because you don't let any...
People talk to me all day long. You can't talk to me.
No, I'm trying to talk to you and you're talking over.
Dear, don't tell me how to do a radio show. I've been doing this for 25 years. I don't need your help.
Okay, let me, can I please just say this? I was married once before, okay? My husband and I had a child together.
Right.
After I was tired of him beating me for 2 years, I left him.
Really? But why did you tolerate it for 2 years? Can you tell me why you tolerated being beaten for 2 years? I'd like to hear about this.
My answer to that is because I was young and stupid.
Okay, I agree with you.
Wow. Okay. Let's say it a little bit slower. Why don't you ever talk about the men that don't give child support? Wait. Why don't you ever talk? Why don't you ever talk about the men that don't pay child support? And he answers, because it's women like you who spread your legs. That spread your legs. It's women like you. Jesus, they talk so fast. Okay, here we go again. That's the way family dynamics are. They're too fast to try to grab them. And we need to pause and listen and see things differently. So it says, why don't you ever talk about the men that don't pay child support? And he says, because it's women like you who spread your legs for guys like that. It has to do with our family dynamics. It has to do with the fact that the mother, the grandmother, or the grandmothers uh, had the same type of companion. And this woman is reproducing that family dynamic. Until we see that and until we stop blaming others for what happens to me and I start seeing my family system, we won't change. There's not going to be any change in the world. Not until I see my own aggression, my own entanglements, implications, my family system, my family system way of relating to one another. And she says, why don't you ever talk about the responsibility of women who choose irresponsible males to procreate with? It takes two to tango. It does. Just as she's irresponsible, he's irresponsible, or they're both responsible. And there's more family dynamics hidden in these type of relationships. And and then complain later when they're irresponsible. We're both irresponsible. We're both responding to our own family dynamics. Until we know that, until we see that, and we continue blaming the other person, and the other person blames me, we won't be able to make any differences in the world. Change won't occur that way. He says the women who have a one-nighter with a bartender or a guy on a motorcycle or a musician, and then you complain later that the guy's, I don't know, um, DADBET, a dirtbag or whatever. Well, attraction happened. Life had to continue. If we remember and understand that all of us are at the service of life, it makes a difference. And we will stop complaining, and we will stop blaming the other person for it. He was a dirtbag. I don't know what the word is. Didn't hear it from the beginning. This is why nobody can. And the woman says, this is why nobody can ever talk to you because you don't let. And he says, people talk to me all day long. They talk to me all day long. People talk to me all day long. You can't talk to me. And she says, I'm trying to talk to you and you're talking over me. Actually, both are talking over one the other. She's talking over him and he is talking over her. That's the way I see it. And he says, dear, don't tell me how to do a radio show. I've been doing this for 25 years. I don't need your help. I don't know if he said it that way, but I did. Okay, Lemmy, can I please just say this? I was married once before, okay? My husband and I had a child together. After I was tired of him beating me for 2 years, I left him. After I was tired of him beating me for 2 years. And he says, really? But why did you tolerate it for 2 years? Can you tell me why you tolerated being beaten for 2 years? I'd like to hear about this. She doesn't know the answer. The answer is because that's the way she was brought up, because she saw violence and aggression in her own family system. And he saw violence and aggression in his own family system. That's the reason why she tolerated him for 2 years. And probably when she was 2 years old, the parents separated. And that's why she separated after 2 years, not before, not after. But you would need to know about family systems, information, modality in order to be able to respond to this in a different way. In this therapy, you hear the bird sing, even though there's a siren going on back there. Um, we don't look for whose fault it is. It's a solution, trying to find solutions. And everybody have their own space, their own place within the family system. She won't be able to answer that question. My answer to that is because I was young and stupid. No, that's that's the tip of the iceberg that we see, and that's the way we respond. But no. That's yes, young, but no, not stupid. And she says, um, okay, um, I think it's over. It's ended. And he says, okay, I agree with you. You were stupid, no doubt about it. No, she wasn't stupid. No, she didn't know about the family dynamics going on. That's a fact. Um, Back in 2021, a cat, I called her Amber, came to my house and she was pregnant. And she had 4 kittens, three vanilla type color, um, coffee with milk, and one black with white. So I talked with the vet and I said, is there a possibility? Oh, and Amber was brown, like the amber in the the stone amber. And I said, is there a possibility of two fathers, one white and one black? And he said, yes, it is, of course. So I quickly noticed cat men who get women pregnant and disappear. I've never seen the fathers of the 4 little kittens. Now they're cats. They've grown up, all female. And it took me longer to see that in order for there to be a cat man, there had to be a cat woman, a woman who wanted unconsciously to get pregnant and be left by herself. If you have any comments, let me know. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, and wait. Also, with the um, with this, let me see. Oh, I already read it. About this isn't just about butterflies or date nights. It's about choosing someone who shows up in grief and mess and uncertainty. Yes, because when life gets painfully real, romance won't carry you. Character will. There's more to this than that. Family dynamics. We have to go into that and see them, and then say, "I see you, and may I have the possibility of doing things differently." Thank you. Thank you very much.